Hi everybody, hope everybody is doing well, staying safe, feeling good. Today I thought I might talk a little bit about writing songs for the Churchill's album back in 1969, 68, 69, which is about 50, 52, 53 years ago. God. Oh, all that long time ago. I thought I might talk a little bit about how I wrote the song, which is on the B-side of the Churchill's album, and it's called Subsequent Finale. Stan and I, Stan Solomon, and I used to live at a hotel in Tel Aviv. And that hotel was called Hotel Nessiona. And it was on Rehov Nessiona, and it was located just off of Ben Yehuda down there. And we stayed there. A lot of hip people, a lot of people from Canada stayed there. It was really a hip place to stay. And one night, Stan had gone out somewhere, probably with a girl or something, and I was in the hotel with my girlfriend at the time, Efrat, who of course now is my wife, and it was about midnight, and I had always promised her father that I would have her home by midnight, so midnight rolled around and we walked up to Ben Yehuda Street, and I hailed a cab and paid the cab driver and sent her home. I walked back to the hotel and went up and I sat on the bed there, and it was kind of quiet and I was sitting there alone, and I looked and I saw half a joint in the ashtray, so I lit it up and took a couple of shachtas and got into a nice peaceful mood. And I looked at my guitar lying on the bed, and I picked it up. Whoops. I picked up the guitar, and I've always kind of been inspired by what I call ringing open style chords. And many of those chords I've found by complete accident, by picking up the guitar and going to play a perfect legitimate chord and hitting the wrong notes, and suddenly this chord comes out and you go, wow, that sounds, different, that sounds great, and on this night I picked up the guitar and I put my fingers in the wrong place on the guitar and I got this. And I thought, wow, that sounds real cool. It's real nice. It's ringing, there's open strings in it, like that. And then I thought, well, I wonder what would happen if I get that same chord and I take it down a tone, and you get this. And I thought, wow, that's really nice. Anyway, I strummed away, took another couple of tokes and strummed away a little bit, and then these words came to my head, and I was singing, if you really love me, girl, won't you please come on home? If you really love me, girl, come on home. And I played that over and over again. And if you really love me, girl, God almighty, that line must have been used 1,000 times in songs, you know, and I couldn't get anywhere with it. Just over and over again saying, if you really love me, girl, won't you please come on home? So I said, enough. So I put the guitar down and I noticed on the on the nightstand was my notebook, which I have here. This notebook, look at the condition it's in. It's falling apart. And this notebook, Stan Solomon and I used to write all kinds of things in this book. We would write lyrics for songs, we'd write poetry and stuff like that. And, you know, because you got to remember, back in those days, we didn't have a cell phone where you could just press video and play a song and that you wanted to remember. It was all up here, you know. I probably got about 400 songs up in my head in this computer up there that I've written over my lifetime, and they all stay up there in your head, you know. But anyway, I opened the book and I looked and I saw the words to some poem that I was writing, and the words were, "The screaming, soaring waves of my mind are searching for seagulls by the sea. And then my precious diamond tears take me back to the salt-biting wind that blows across the white-crested billows." And I thought, oh. So I got the guitar and I went, "The screaming, soaring waves of my mind are thinking of seagulls by the sea." And I thought, wow, it fits. It fits. And the screaming, soaring waves of my mind sure sounds a hell of a lot better than "If you really love me, girl, you know, please come on home," you know. Because, you know, back in 68, 69, in the psychedelic times when everybody was taking acid and everything was, you know, revolving around drugs, you know, lyrics like that sounded a hell of a lot better than "I love you and you love me" and everything like that. So that's what I had, you know, screaming, soaring waves of my mind. So it fit. And then I said to myself, well, I wonder what the root note or the root chord is from what I'm playing. And I noticed I was playing an open A. So I thought, okay, it's an A. So when I hit that A chord and I heard that top note, I heard la da 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 da. Because being, you know, from England and then coming to Israel and the Middle East, from time to time you'd hear this Arabic music on the radio, and wow, it used to give me the creeps. It was really weird, you know, this Arabic music, and you can't help it. It just gets into your head. So I've had this. So I thought, well, that would go really good together, and I could go. So anyway, about 2 o'clock in the morning, Stan Solomon comes in. "Hey, Robbie, what you up to?" And I said, "Oh, I've been working on this new song." And he said, "Oh yeah?" He said, "Wow, I'd like to hear it." And he picked up an album cover from the bed, and I think it was probably a Blues Breakers album, and he grabbed some hash and he rubbed it up, mixed it with the tobacco and rolled a joint. We had a few jokes and he said, "Come on, Robbie, let me hear the song." And I started, "The screaming, soaring waves of my mind," and I played it to him, and I explained to him the Arabic sounding parts, and I sang those to him and whatever. And I sang the song, and when I finished it, he looked at me and he said, "Huxley, you're a fucking genius." And I laughed and I said, "Well," and he said, "This is unbelievable. Give me the words. I want to sing it. So I gave him the notebook and we sat there and we sang that song over and over and over again till probably about 7 o'clock in the morning. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, we were getting pretty tired, and Stan took the album cover again and he started rolling up another joint, and I said, "Oh, I can't smoke anymore, Stan." He said, No, that's for when we wake up." I said, "Oh, okay." So anyway, I didn't have a title for the song, and because there's no reoccurring line in it, that you could get a title from. And over the years, people have asked me, "Well, what's that song about?" And I usually leave it up to the listener to draw their own conclusions what the song is about, because you could play it to 10 different people and they'd have 10 different opinions of what the song is about. And really, to me, that's the important thing. Not really that they know really what the song is about, but what it does for them. I know when I used to listen a lot to Bob Dylan albums, and that guy could write lyrics. It could mean anything, and I just draw my own conclusions about what I thought he was writing about. But actually, what the song is about, it's actually about a junkie who is sometimes feeling up, sometimes feeling down, and in the end he decides to shoot up for the last time, and one last time, here I go, and that's the end of it. And so I thought, well, what could I call the song? And the word subsequent finale came to my head. Subsequent finale means subsequent is the following, and the finale, of course, is the end. So I thought, maybe I'll call it subsequent finale, the following end. And as many of you may know, my second book, which I've written, which is basically about that time in Israel, those couple of years from early 68 to the end of 1969, I chose the title Subsequent Finale to be the title of the book. And you can see the Churchill's album here, and Subsequent Finale is one of the titles on the second side. And on the reverse side here, you see me without any clothes. This was taken in Denmark with the Churchill's tour in late 1968, maybe early 69. And excuse me, as you can tell, I'm holding the Churchill's album in a very strategic position there. Of course, the Churchill's album was not even made at that time. It wasn't even conceived, because I actually was holding a different album there. I was holding an album of the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, East West. And when we were designing the cover for the book, my graphics lady, Maria Cruz, came up with all this for me, where I've got all the pictures, many different pictures of the Churchills. I've actually got Itzhak Klepter up there, Churchill himself, and I've got Selwyn Lifshitz down there, who were also original members of the Churchills. So at one point I asked her, I said, would it be possible to remove the original album that I was holding and put the Churchill's album in color there? She said, sure, she could do that. And when she removed the Paul Butterfield album out of there, she told me she was very disappointed with what she saw behind it, but well, that's another story. But anyway, that subsequent finale, which is my second book, and actually, where is it? Oops, over here. A lot of the writings which are in this old book, I've included at the end of subsequent finale, at the end of this story, and a lot of poetry that Stan and I, and lyrics to songs that people have never seen before, are in the end, and they've got graphic illustrations together with the poems and the songs. There's a poem about Tel Aviv. There's all kind of stuff. There's a nice water pipe there. So, and there's also a lot of photographs in the back. Here's the Purple Ass Baboon, who I played with before I played with the Churchills, and I believe we were the first punk band ever to play in Israel. So there you go, that's subsequent finale. You can purchase it through Amazon, or you can also purchase it from the Book Depository. And actually, if you do buy it from the Book Depository, they don't charge you for shipping it to you. So, shipping charges can be quite expensive for books. So, so the shipping charges are free. Anyway, that's subsequent finale. Right now, I figured I'd take my other guitar and I'd remind you of how the song goes. And I'd like to play subsequent finale for you now. More in the way like it was when I just started to conceive the song in Hotel Nessiona back in 1969. Screaming, soaring waves of my mind are searching for seagulls by the sea, and then my nervous nicotine fingertips take me back to the salt violet with that glow. Across the white crested willow, sitting on a bench in the sun, thoughts pressing so hard on my memory. And their nervous nicotine fingertips are searching for something I lost once before. Is it here on the floor? Here I go again. Here I go again. Here I go again. The glistening red blood in my veins is screaming for freedom. Now watch it flow. One last time, here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go again. Here I go again. Here I go again. Here I go. Okay, that's the story of subsequent finale, and I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll tell a few more stories in the weeks to come about some of the other songs from the Churchill's album. By the way, in subsequent finale, I've told the stories how all the songs for the album were written, and how Stan Solomon and I got ideas for those songs. It also tells the story of all the recording sessions when we recorded those songs. So I think anybody who's interested in the Churchills and would like to know what it was like back in those days, have a read of this book, because it's all true. Okay, everybody, take care. Nice speaking to you all. Stay safe. Be well. Shalom, shalom. God bless you all. Bye-bye.